Well, hello everyone and welcome to the first of a few briefings we'll have throughout the day. I'm Mayor Emma Mulvaney-Stanak here of the city of Burlington, sixth day on the job, but who's counting? Really ready to welcome thousands of folks to Burlington with the clear and beautiful skies today. We're expecting upwards to 50,000 people, which is quite remarkable considering how big our normal city is at any particular day. And already I've seen great economic energy and excitement and activity downtown over the weekend, and Zach from the Burlington City Arts Department will talk more about what we've been up to as a city. But we've had these amazing events over the weekend. We've taken great care to make sure that people could have a full immersive experience over the weekend, to make a big long weekend out of a whole event. And then today, of course, this historic day where we get to experience probably once in a lifetime for most of us moment of watching the eclipse, the full eclipse here on the waterfront. And we have 7 other locations throughout the city in our parks to make sure that we are spread out. And I'm really grateful to all local Burlingtonians and local regional folks to be hopefully patient and gracious with all of the visitors we're having today, and to be on foot if possible to make their way around the city to make sure we can make sure everything is efficient and safe and running well today. But so far I've experienced lots of happiness and excitement. There's just a great joy and vibrancy on Church Street this morning, and I've never seen that many people in a coffee line before. I was at Muddy Waters and oh my God, I had to leave because it was like 20 people deep. So that's a good sign for Burlington. So happy to take questions after Zach gives a little briefing on some more details. Okay? And Zach, who's really the brains behind this whole thing, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor Mulvaney-Stanak. Zach Williams with BCA. Yeah, we are off and running. One thing I quickly realized this morning when I started making my way to Burlington is that eclipse viewers are passionate about their eclipse, and they are not going to miss it. So we noticed campers that arrived overnight. I was working until about 11 o'clock last night and back on the ground at 6:30 this morning, and things had changed just in those overnight hours. So yeah, people are here, people are ready. One thing that has done, and we're dealing with it, of course, but we've kind of pushed all of our timing up a little bit, where we were going to not start parking cars on Route 127 until 11. We started at 10:30. We were not welcoming cars to 345 Pine Street until 9. We did that at 8. So we are really trying to move quickly to make sure people can get in, get the spot that they want to do. Obviously, if you've traveled pretty far to be here, we're not going to want to try to stand in your way of getting where you want to be to enjoy this awesome moment. But it is really exciting for Burlington. There was a line all the way out of Skinny Pancake here on Lake Street that went up to Battery Street by 7:30 this morning. So I think everyone is a bit taken aback, but also really working hard to make this a great experience. Just a few parking related things. The downtown and Marketplace garages are full already, as is the Main Street Landing parking lot here off of Lake Street and the Pease lot at Waterfront Park. But we still do have parking on 127. I think we can easily park another 950 cars out there. And we still do have parking at 345 Pine Street. That's where the Burlington Farmers Market lot is. We have about another 200 spots there. So we do still have a parking available. It is just after 11, so all of our road closures that we've talked about for weeks now are in effect. And so as Emma said, we should be, if you're a resident, we'd strongly recommend biking or walking from here on out. And if you're visiting, we have great signage to get you where you need to go.
How many cars total on the Beltline?
Give or take 1,000 cars total. So we just started out there, and we're working on, we hadn't planned to have our shuttles running quite yet. So some people have parked out there and probably walking their way back to Burlington, to the downtown, because we are just now getting our shuttle buses going. We will be starting officially here at 1 o'clock in Waterfront Park. We're really excited about what we have going on here. A very large distributed audio system, so no matter where you are, where you want to be to see the eclipse, hopefully you can hear some entertainment. We got Micah Helly performing at 1 and Ali T at 2. We have a NASA astrophysicist, Mark Kushner, will be here to narrate the actual totality and tell people what's going on up there and why this is so special. Also tell people when it's safe to take off your glasses and when you need to put them back on. We have glasses available, other merchandise available. There's food options here in Waterfront Park, plenty of bathrooms, a water trailer. So we feel like we're really set. We're also getting set up in Battery Park right now. City Hall Park is hopping, as is Perkins Pier, Oak Ridge Park, Roosevelt Park, and Letty Park. So we are spread out and ready for a great day that definitely started earlier, but is going to go very smoothly as far as we can tell.
At the rate that cars are showing up, I mean, I expect there'll be more as we go, but like when you're going to hit parking capacity, when do you imagine that's going to happen?
That's the whole question I've been thinking about for 9 months is how soon does this all happen? And clearly it's happening sooner than I thought. So I bet, it's a little after 11 now. I think we'll probably be at parking capacity by 12:30 or 1, I would imagine. That's a good question. Then we struggle to find places to put people, I think, at that point. There's just not a lot of other places. Clearly, taking the step to close down Route 127 is a big step as it is, and that was because we don't have a lot of other places to put people and vehicles. So it will start to get trickier after that happens. I do think that we'll see other municipalities facing some parking challenges, and not that I want this interstate to slow down, but I think the whole process of getting to Burlington will start to slow at a certain time, and so that might mitigate some of the parking problems that we have coming up.
How many city staff and volunteers are working today?
I don't have a clear answer for that. There is a full, very large interdepartmental effort. So Burlington City Arts, Burlington Workforce and Development, Community Economic and Development Office, Burlington Department of Public Works, Burlington Parks, Recreation and Waterfront, Parking Enforcement. Even the planning office is out here helping to sell merchandise and work in different booths. The Racial Equity and Inclusion and Belonging office is selling merchandise and helping people work information stations and get people where they want to be. So it is a very, very large city force. Not to mention our public safety aspects are all in full effect. So a large team. We do have, I would say, probably 60 volunteers working. We reached out to Burlington schools after BTV Kids, the after-school program, have some staff here. Burlington High School has some students here who have a volunteer commitment before graduation. So we did have some luck with reaching out to other people. I also know ECHO is working closely with Global Foundries. They have about 50 volunteers in our educational tents and also in their facility here on the waterfront. And then we also have a number of temporary and seasonal workers that work in different capacities with the city for special events and in the parks in the summer are helping us carry out all these activities for sure.
And I would just like to add some deep gratitude because, as Zach was just saying, this is a really full team effort by city staff. Weeks ago, Zach and BCA decided to put an all-call out to get folks to consider doing a different amount of work for the day. So even if their day job was something completely different, we have many city employees out here helping to sell merchandise, direct people and visitors. That shows such a great sense of community amongst city staff, which I very much appreciate. This morning with some of my staff, we went up and visited the Emergency Operations Center at the Burlington Police Department and really got a sense for the briefing of all of the police officers and the firefighters and the EMTs and CSLs and CSOs. Everyone is on today to really make sure we're running things as smoothly and safely as possible. I was very impressed with just how organized and ready the city is, and greatly appreciative, but really confident that even if something does come up, we are very, very much ready to go.
Do you have any updates about traffic congestion, car crashes, or other public safety issues throughout the city at this point?
I have not heard anything yet, and we would be notified, so I think everything is running smoothly at this point. I don't think we've heard any real traffic, as Zach was mentioning. Probably things will get a little bit more congested as we get closer to the eclipse, and great reminder if anyone is still thinking about coming to town to come sooner rather than later, just to really make sure people have a spot. The bugs, right? Yeah, the bugs are hatching. Did anyone notice? Like, yay, springtime down at the waterfront.
I do have one more, though.
Yep.
I was just wondering, I saw some earlier numbers about the amount of merchandise the city has sold, and I was wondering if you had any updated figures to share with us at this time.
That's a good question. We should have checked the good old Square back end. I don't have an update, but I do know we're selling a lot of merchandise. We had a store on Church Street all weekend that was really busy, particularly yesterday, and multiple merchandise sites across the store today. So we are hoping, it's awesome to sell, but it's also great to send people away with our beautiful design for Obscura BTV. Emma's sporting it. I wore the sweatshirt all weekend. I just didn't want to wear it a third day. Everything from magnets and stickers to yo-yos and great screen printed poster if anyone's interested. It is a beautiful commemorative poster that would be awesome to get. So we highly recommend that.
I'm going to buy one for the mayor's office. That
There
seems
you
like
go.
a very good historic first week on the job moment.
I think so.
Any other questions?
Any other general safety reminders for people who might still be making their way here or later when everyone's trying to leave around, in terms of road closures and everything?
Sure. Yeah, we have been messaging this, and the state of Vermont, and I even know New York State as well. Arrive early and stay late. If you've missed the arrive early part, you definitely can still stay late. It is going to be a much more enjoyable experience to stay in Burlington eat at our restaurants, come to the Obscura after party in City Hall Park. There are other evening activities happening as well. It's just a much better choice than sitting on what we expect will be a very crowded Interstate or Route 7 after this eclipse. So yes, we are back to normal daylight at 4:37, but we encourage people to make the most of it, and it's a beautiful day. So stay here in Burlington for a little while to kind of help diffuse that mass exodus that we really don't want to see.
With the Beltline, what if people don't come back to their cars?
That's a real question. Obviously, we are recommending people get there, asking people to get there at 7:30 p.m. to move their cars. I realize that does start to complicate the idea of staying in town, but we did push it as far as we thought we could. After 8 o'clock, we'll assess the situation. We have some flexibility as to when we reopen that road. It is a Monday night, and we've already been closed for so many hours. A couple more hours won't be the end of the world, but at a certain point, we will start to have to tow cars, which will be a problem because people will be stuck at that point. But we do need to open that road at some point.
People can get to their cars before 7:30.
Yeah, and of course, at any of our parking places, you are free to get to your car and depart at any time. That was a couple questions that we got about that online, but yes, you can easily. We encourage you to make plans to leave wherever you need to leave at the right time, but we also encourage you to stay as long as you can.
And we do, since we've never done this before with 127, obviously, we do have shuttles running. We have police officers and safety folks stationed at all the main ways you could access 127 between Manhattan Drive and out towards Colchester. Again, I was at the briefing this morning, and I have great confidence that we will keep folks safe. And also, just as people are coming on, they will be greeted with someone for briefing on this information, as well as just the logistics of it all. So pretty confident that we'll keep people safe and people can get back to their cars through shuttles and other means. So I'm pretty confident this will all work. Yeah. Any other questions?
That is an off-season boost for tourism. How is that impacting businesses at different parts of Burlington?
It's still early on, but I have to say when the weather forecast started to predict clear skies, that was a boom for Burlington. And as you all know, as local media, we're facing a tricky fiscal year next year. So to me, this is a really good sign that we can help boost the end of this fiscal year to really queue ourselves up for what's ahead. I also know that I really want to thank all of the retail and service workers who are really extending their hours probably and keeping restaurants and stores open. We've tried a lot through our business and workforce development department to make sure we were partnering with local employers to get folks parking, local folks who work downtown, to make sure that was all functioning. So again, back to what I said earlier around the teamwork, it's so impressive to see the forethought that everyone had around making sure that folks who are working today could get downtown, they could park, that they had a place to be, but also, again, just great gratitude of all the local employers and the businesses of opening up and making sure that Burlington was this great place to visit all weekend long. Anything else? We'll be back.
Yeah, 2
All right.
hours.
Yeah, exactly. And then something's going to happen in the sky, I think. So, yeah, great. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.